Okay, so we recertify the tenant's income. And if a tenant has gone over income, somebody was in a low home unit and is now above 50%, right, but maybe below 80, or somebody has gone above 80%, there's a complex set of rules about what we do. The first thing, though, is we never terminate somebody's lease because they've gone over income. If they've been able to improve their position in life, that is absolutely great, right? I mean, that's part of why we provide affordable housing, because housing matters, right? And that stability matters. And so if people's income increases, that doesn't mean that they have to leave, okay? But we do have rules about if they've gone from low home to maybe being in a high, what would otherwise, they're now a high home eligible tenant. In essence, we're going to eventually move them to being at the high home rent. If they've gone above 80% AMI, we may increase their rent to be the market rent, or we may increase it to be 30% of their income. The rules vary depending on whether we have fixed or floating units. That would be a whole hour-long segment of walking through these things. But the sort of short form understanding is if they were in a low home unit, but now they're at a high home income level, we're going to eventually transition them to being a high home tenant at the high home rent. If they've gone above 80%, we may increase their rent further, but we will never increase their rent above 30% of their annual income so that they're rent burdened. Okay? And once we do that, actually before we do that, we first have to replace the unit. So we have that person in a low home unit that's now should be in a high home unit. We first replace the low home unit, and then we transition their rent.